"Fight me for fun, black girl." That was the first thing she heard when she stepped into the sunlit dojo, a room where respect was supposed to matter. A black belt fighter smirked at her like she was entertainment, not a human being. Parents froze. Students stared. And Maya Brooks, 16, stood there carrying a silence heavier than any punch. She didn't come to fight, but he made sure she had no choice. Outside, a door creaked as the moment began tightening around her. The first thing she heard was his voice cutting through the dojo like a blade. "Fight me for fun, kid. Or are you too scared?" The room stilled, sunlight pouring across the mats as every student turned to stare at the black teen girl standing by the entrance. Maya Brooks, 16, calm, well-dressed, steady as stone. She hadn't even stepped onto the mat yet, but the black belt fighter already decided she didn't belong. A breath caught in her chest. Not fear, pressure. That tight feeling when a whole room waits for you to shrink. The black belt smirked, arms crossed, chin lifted like the challenge meant nothing. "Come on. You wanted to watch class, right? Let's make it fun." His voice carried the casual cruelty of someone who expected the room to laugh with him. No one laughed. They just stared at her, waiting for her to respond, waiting to see if the quiet black girl would crumble. Maya didn't move. Didn't blink. That only annoyed him more. "Guess I was right," he said louder. "Kids like you can't keep up anyway." His students shifted uneasily. Even the parents in the back looked away. A question hung between them, sharp as a slap. Why did he pick her? And why today? When his foot tapped impatiently on the mat, something clicked inside her, a small sound, a memory, a pressure building. She took one breath in, one breath out, steady. The air shifted around her. Outside, a gust of wind rattled the door, pulling her forward into the next moment. She stepped fully inside the dojo, and the atmosphere tightened like a fist around her ribs. Whispers rose. Not supportive ones, curiosity mixed with dismissal. Someone muttered, "She's too small." Another, "Is she even trained?" Maya didn't look at them, but she felt every word land. The black belt fighter circled her slowly, as if inspecting something unworthy. "You wearing fancy shoes won't save you," he said with a laugh. "Try not to cry." A few students chuckled, relieved they weren't the target. Maya's hand tightened around the strap of her gym bag. It wasn't the insult that stung, it was the way he flicked his foot at the small bracelet on her wrist. "Cute. You bring accessories to a dojo now," he sneered. That tiny bracelet, the one her father gave her before he passed, rolled slightly from the impact. A tiny detail, barely noticeable, but it hit her harder than the words. Her throat tightened. She picked it up gently, eyes lowering for half a second. The black belt smirked, believing she was breaking. But when she looked up again, her eyes were different, calmer, deeper, something quietly burning. The parents fell silent. The room felt colder. Something was happening, and no one understood it yet. If this were you, if someone insulted your identity, your family, your presence, what would you do? The black belt stepped closer, towering over her. "Let me help you understand," he said. "This is a real dojo. Not a playground. And definitely not for charity cases." His voice sharpened, each word dipped in open contempt. "People like you slow everyone down." Maya breathed once, slow, anchored. The room blurred at the edges, voices fading. For a moment she felt herself falling, not physically, but into that familiar pit of isolation where no one defended her, where adults let things slide, where silence hurt more than insults. He saw the silence as surrender. "Thought so," he said, tapping her shoulder like she was furniture. "Grab your stuff. Leave." Then it happened. A shift. A crack in the truth he believed. Maya placed her bag down gently. She straightened her posture, her feet aligning in a stance far too clean, far too precise, for a beginner. Someone in the back gasped. The black belt froze mid-step. He finally saw it, her balance, her stillness, her composure. Not fear. Training. Who taught you that stance? He demanded. She didn't answer. She didn't need to. The truth flickered behind her eyes, just enough to warn him, he had no idea who he was talking to. He scoffed and swung lightly, intending to tap her arm, for fun. But Maya moved a mere inch, and his strike cut empty air. The whisper of her sidestep sliced through the dojo louder than a shout. He tried again, faster. She flowed past him like she saw the future. Gasps erupted. Someone whispered, "She's trained." Another, "No, she's elite." The black belt tried to hide his panic. "Stop moving and fight." Maya finally spoke, her voice steady. "I wasn't here to fight you." She stepped forward, forcing him back. "But you wanted fun." Her eyes locked onto his. "Now you can deal with the consequences." She shifted, one clean pivot, one decisive movement, and with perfect control, she swept him onto the mat. Not violently. Not brutally. Just undeniably. The room exploded. The black belt lay there stunned, the world spinning. Maya stepped back, offering no gloat, no smirk, only dignity. Her eyes shifted to the students. "Strength isn't about humiliating people weaker than you," she said. "It's about knowing when not to." Parents nodded. Students lowered their eyes, ashamed of their silence. As she turned to leave, one last detail lingered in the room, the bracelet on her wrist catching the light, the reminder of why she stood her ground. Outside, the door closed softly behind her, but the dojo stayed trembling long after she was gone.